Hayes-White, and I'm currently serving as the San Francisco Fire Chief, the first female fire chief in the city. I'm a native San Franciscan, born and raised here. It's fairly unusual for a woman to be leading a fire department or in the fire service. It wasn't until the late 80s that women actually became members of the fire department here in San Francisco. It was not something that I ever thought of doing as a young girl growing up. It was always a male occupation. When I heard that the fire department was trying to diversify, I entered the department in 1990 as a firefighter, and then, so to speak, worked my way up the ladder. The fire service is all about working and contributing to the team. Our mission is to save lives and property here in San Francisco. In San Francisco, we have a very windy city. We're a peninsula. We're surrounded by water on three sides. So when we fight fires, we do so in an aggressive manner. But if a fire starts in a wood frame building and it's attached, unless you make a very aggressive attack, you're likely to lose the whole block. Post 9/11, we've had to be more aware of weapons of mass destruction and terrorism. San Francisco is a huge travel destination, and so as such, we are considered a target-rich environment. That's something on our minds every day. I love coming to work. I drive in, I see the cityscape, the beautiful buildings, our bridges, but also in the back of my mind is either a man-made disaster or a natural disaster. We need to make sure that we have the best trained workforce. So we pride ourselves on having state-of-the-art training, frequent training to make sure our skills are up to speed and that all of us are working together competently to fulfill the mission. I'm the mother of 3 boys, and we enjoy going to the movies or to sporting events. And as much as I enjoy that, I can't help sort of wearing 2 hats, that of a mom out with her sons enjoying things, but also as the fire chief. So if we're in a large capacity crowd, I'm always looking for 2 ways to get out, that the exits are properly illuminated so that if people need to get out in an emergency, that there's a safe way to get out. Similarly, I love architecture, and San Francisco has some very unique architecture. Challenging, though, from a fire safety perspective. So many times I'll be sitting at a light, and I'll always look at a building and in my own mind do what I would call a pre-plan of, okay, if this building was to be on fire on the 3rd floor, how would you ladder the building? What hose leads would you do? So you take the uniform off, or I take my uniform off, but I never leave the job, so to speak. It's always 24/7, and as part of the job, protecting the public, but it's always something that's there. When I am with the boys, I try and spend good quality time with them. However, they have the understanding that their mom sometimes has to get up, go, and respond. When you come to work, you put your uniform on, you're not sure how your day is going to unfold. Show up in a chaotic situation and make it better. You do see a lot of things that the average citizen does not. I mean, people say when they're running out of a burning building, we're running in. And so there is a lot of heroism in the job. I've worked with a lot of firefighters. I've learned a lot from them. I remember one time early in my career, I was up on a roof with 2 very veteran firefighters, and we'd heard in training if the roof feels kind of soft or spongy, that's not a good sign. You need to get off quickly. So I'd felt this, and I noticed the 2 veterans were still working away, and I didn't want to be the one saying we should get off. And probably within a few minutes, one of them grabbed me and they said, we got to get off. And within about 3 minutes, that particular section of the roof completely collapsed. So that has stuck with me again, the thought of people looking out for each other, working together. I mean, the beauty about working as a fire department is that it's really like a second family to rely on, emotionally, physically, and just that camaraderie and bond that you build. I always say this is a big city, but it's a small town. My father is from Ireland. He was from Limerick, and he immigrated here in 1949. It was very difficult growing up for them. So at the age of 24, he came out on his own and came to America for a better opportunity. And my dad came with very little. I think he said about $17 in his pocket in 1949, and truly found San Francisco to be a place of opportunity. People were good to him, they took him in. I love raising my boys in this city. The fact that they're exposed to all different types of culture, different religions, and that's what's great about this department as well. I'm a huge advocate for having a workforce that really reflects the community that we're serving. So now we have a lot of bilingual firefighters, whether it's Cantonese or Spanish speaking or Russian speaking. And in a city like San Francisco, I think it's a really good match. There's a great little place, in fact, I just saw it in the paper, it opened up again. It's called the Warming Hut. Actually, ironically, there was a fire there last year in January, and it was closed up until just this week. You can go for a nice walk along the water, and then you can go in and get, a cider or a coffee or something. And you can literally stand in one spot and look at the bridge and the water, and then when you turn around, you look and you see the skyscape. It's beautiful. I see the fire department's future as a very bright one, as long as we stay on track in terms of being able to fulfill our mission, going out there every day, doing the best we can to serve the public. Keep in touch.